Hello friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaylin and we're doing a 24-hour readathon today and I'm excited. So it's currently 1:47 on a Saturday and I'm going to start this at 2 p.m. today and then end it on 2 p.m. tomorrow. This is not going to be a typical hardcore go for 24 hours, read as much as I can, no sleep, stuff like that. This is a very chill 24 hours. I'm hoping to read maybe 1-2 books if I'm lucky, but I just kind of want to spend the next 24 hours reading and just relaxing because I have been off work all week on my staycation and I go back to work on Monday, so I just want the last little bit of my vacation to just be very relaxing. But first I need some computer stuff to do and then I will meet you guys back at 2 o'clock and we'll go over the TBR. It is now almost 2:30, it's 2:29 and I'm here to officially start the 24-hour readathon. But before we do that, let's take some sips of water. Before we get in the TBR, I just want to state this here and now. The reason why this is going to be a very chill readathon is because I woke up with extreme dizziness and nausea this morning, and it's getting better little by little as the day goes on, but it's still not perfect. I can get up and do stuff and like sit up without feeling like, oh my god, the room is spinning, but it's still kind of lingering. Like I still feel a little dizzy. So that's why we're very relaxed today. And also I haven't had any caffeine today because I heard caffeine makes it worse. So I've been drinking lots and lots of water, but we're here for the TBR. So enough about the health. The first book I'm reading is Summer Romance. This is Annabelle Monaghan's newest release. And I really liked one of her other books I read from her was her release last summer and I absolutely loved it. I read it in one sitting. And so I knew when I saw she was coming out with another summer romance book, I wanted to read it. And this one you're following a young mother whose name is Allie and she's a professional organizer, but her life is a bit a mess. So she has, I think she has two or three, and she is getting a divorce. Her husband just was like, I want a divorce. Her mother died a couple years ago, who was like her everything, her lifeline, her best friend. And so she's kind of been trying to figure out how to go about life without her mother in it and like her partner in crime. And one day she's at the dog park and her dog pees on this man. And I'm thinking that is the guy that's gonna be our love interest. That's their little like meet cute, but it's not really a cute meeting. It's funny. But I'm 12% into this, so I can't give you my thoughts or my feelings and how I'm liking it yet. But in case we finish that book, like I said, I would be happy with just finishing that book. But in case I finish that book and I want to pick up another book, I have 3 options here that I've been staring at on my shelf. First one is Love and Gelato. My bestie Brie got this for me, and I believe this is one of her favorite YA romance books. It's set in Italy, and that's about all I know, but what could go wrong with a romance book set in Italy? And then we have The Last Love Note. This was November's book of the month pick for last year, and I've been saving it for summer, and here it's summer, so I want to read this. But I've also been kindly sent a copy of Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren, but this is like Tangled vibes. That's what it's getting me. Tangled or Rapunzel, I guess. Rapunzel, but Tangled. And with Christina and Lauren, they're a hit or miss for me. I think I've had one book that I've really liked for them, but my reading taste has definitely changed a lot since I picked up a Christina Lauren book. I don't typically go for these types of books anymore, despite what my TBR says, but we'll see how this goes. But I am going to start with Summer Romance. I'm gonna read a little bit. I'm gonna lay down because it's getting a little woozy, so I'm gonna lay down and we're gonna do some reading together and see where the day takes us. Love a man that takes charge. So the guy's name is Ethan that she ran into at the dog park, and she runs into him for a second time when she's dropping off lunch for her son, and then he asked her out. So he's like, meet me here, because she didn't want him coming to the house because of her kids and didn't want to confuse her kids, which I get. So she meets him there and she's like, I'll drive, and he's like, I bet you're a great driver, but I'm driving. I guess I should say she's in her late 30s or mid 30s. I think she's either 36 or 38. I can't remember, but she's one of those ages. Guys, there's a plot twist in this book. I wasn't expecting it, like, at all. This book just got a whole lot more interesting, and I'm excited to see where this goes. Does it look like I just woke up from a nap? Because I did. I literally fell asleep, conked out. I was so comfortable, and I knew that was gonna happen for me because I had my pillow from my bed, but I am now 26% of the way through this book, and I have some nerd gummy clusters because these are my favorite things in the entire world. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a snack, kind of a sugary snack to wake me up, and continue reading. It is now dinner time. I am almost halfway through the book. I'm gonna tell you my thoughts and my feelings once I get halfway through the book, but I'm having some dinner. It's just leftover frozen pizza and then this huge salad, which we'll see what I eat because the salad, there's a lot left over. If I don't eat it tonight, it's gonna go bad. And I'm gonna watch the newest episode of Love Island. I am now 50% of the way through Summer Romance, and I am liking this book. It's a very quick read. There's a lot of layers to it. Like I said, it's really not focused on the romance. It's more focused on Allie and her picking her life back up and kind of getting back to who she was. And I love Ethan so much because he is the type of person that will make space for people who don't know exactly how to make space for themselves or how to fit in. He has been told he's not reliable, but yet he runs a skateboarding thing and all the teens and like kids call him when there's an issue. He volunteers at the dog shelter. He like helps people out. Like example, he helped this guy out with his restaurants and make it a historical landmark so it can't be taken from him or tore down or sold or anything like that. And yet his family struggles to see him as this person. His dad very much told him he wasn't successful or he didn't really know what he was doing in life because he left his big time law firm in Manhattan and he moved out, and he moved to like a smaller practice, and so his dad like had a really hard time with that and thinks he doesn't really know what he's doing. And also he never comes and sees the family. Well, I wouldn't either if they would always nag on me about that and all that. And he's just seen as the little brother, you know, the crazy little brother who doesn't really have much direction in life. But he has been someone for Allie to kind of lean on without her even realizing it. She's never had someone in her corner besides like her mom, and her mom's died, and she is going through the divorce with her husband, who is an ass, first off. And he's been so used to Allie just being kind of like a doormat for him and like doing everything and not really standing up for herself or to him or for the kids or anything like that. And so when she has this person come in and kind of speak for her, he's kind of like taken back, like, well, Allie, is that what you want? And she's like, actually, yeah. But she's kind of having a hard time speaking up for herself too. And I just love that he's created a space for her. He knew her in high school, but like she didn't really think much of him, and I can't really say much without giving it away. And he's like, I always thought you were this very confident person. Like you knew what you want, you wore what you want, like you acted how you wanted, like you didn't let anyone tell you anything. And he's like, I know that Allie's still in there. And she's kind of like trying to get back to that. And he, in a way, is trying to teach her how to be happy or how to get to happiness, because he's like, I didn't really know how life could be until I finally got happy. And yeah, it's a really, like, I don't know, it's a really nice book. I'm gonna keep reading. I'm hoping to finish this pretty soon. It is 6:30. I just got done cleaning up after dinner. I have 2 hours and 14 minutes left of this book, which I don't know how true that is because I'm reading it very quickly. I'm gonna finish this book, and when I do, I'll come back and chat with you guys. It is now 9 o'clock. I finished A Summer Romance, and then my mom called me and I was on the phone with her for about an hour. So, Summer Romance was really good. I really appreciated it. And this is kind of why I liked her latest, like her last release, is because it had more than the romance to it. I liked her last release more because it was more relatable for me, but I do really like this release. And I do appreciate, I think I could be wrong, but I think all of her books have to deal with people in their late 20s and like to like mid-late 30s, which I really appreciate because I'm now in my 30s era. So it's really nice reading about people in their 30s because growing up, 30 to you is so old. When you're a teenager, oh my God, 30 is like so old, and you're supposed to have like your life together. You're supposed to be married with kids if you want, and like the household shebang. And then you get to this point and you're like, what? Crazy talk. That's crazy talk. And you still kind of feel those pressures because society, but it's really nice to read about fictional characters that kind of don't have it all together and are still trying to figure it out, and that's perfectly fine. Everyone has their own timeline, so I really appreciate that. The one thing about this book is I feel like there was something missing with them in the romance because it was deemed like a summer romance, but it never really was a summer romance. Like you could see they're both clearly like in love with each other, but it was never really shown. Like, I don't know, I feel like they were missing like a spark, and I did like both the main characters. I just don't know if I liked them. Like, I don't think they were written well together. I don't think they had that like spark that had me like kicking and giggling my feet, and like, you know, of course I was rooting for them because why not? But like, I don't know, there's just something missing when it came to them, and I can't put my finger on it. I think it's because we didn't really get to see them in lovey-dovey moments. I mean, they had it, but and then they broke up and then they got back together, and I don't know, I hate the third act breakup. And it was weird because they never really, they deemed it as a summer romance, but then he called her his girlfriend and they never really talked about that. So it was just kind of confusing where they were, what they were exactly. They were never defined the relationship, DTR. So there's that. I think I'm gonna give it like a 3-star, I think, but I'm in between these two books, Tangled Up in You and Love and Gelato. I think I'm going to read the first chapter of each and see which one. This one's 307 pages. This one is 386, but these pages are a lot shorter than this. Like, this book is smaller. You see? Maybe we'll do this, and then maybe I'll do a books to screen because there's a movie on Love and Gelato on Netflix. So maybe I'll do a books to screen. We'll see. I think I'm gonna go for Tangled Up in You. I think this is the choice. I'll see you guys when I start it. Good morning, guys. It is now Sunday. It's around 9:50 in the morning. Had a little bit of a late start today. I literally slept until 8, which doesn't happen to me. Doesn't happen to me. I never sleep that late in the morning, but I did. And so I've just kind of been like having a really slow start to my Sunday, which is great. I'm having my coffee still, but I need to do a little bit of cleaning. My house is pretty clean because I did a really deep clean on like Thursday. So I just need to kind of pick it up, put laundry away, stuff like that. But I just want to tell you guys really quickly, update you on my reading. So last night I actually got up to page 57 in Tangled Up in You. And I'll tell you what this book is about later. But I really want to get going on the Sunday reset because it is kind of late in the morning, and typically I like to have it all done by 10. So I am going to listen to a book though. I'm currently in the middle of Alice Feeney, Good Bad Girl. I'm 36% of the way through it. So I'm going to listen to this while I clean. And in this book, you're following a couple different people. You're following Edith, who is a woman who lives in a care facility. You're following Cleo, who is her daughter, who is a therapist. And then you're following, is it Patience? I think it's Patience, who works at the care home who's really close to Edith. Well, there ends up being a murder in the care home and Edith goes missing. And I think there's another murder that happens. That's a really bad way to explain this book. That's pretty much the gist of it. So you're just following a bunch of people. They're all connected in a way, but I don't want to say how they're connected because I feel like that would really give it away. So I'm going to do some cleaning, listen to this audiobook, and then when I get done, we will settle in for the day and I want to finish this book. Also, I had a really exciting hold come through. Daisy Hates finally came through my library. Like the last time I checked, it said 4-week wait. And I checked that last week. So thank you whoever finished this book early and gave it to me because I am so excited to get back to Daisy Hates and the world of Magnolia Parks. I low-key wanted to save them all for when I'm on vacation in September, which I still might save a lot of them. So I might just buy them on Kindle because I want the pretty Magnolia Parks covers. I hate the American covers. I hate the new covers. I don't know why they redid the covers. Like, they're so ugly. I hate them. I hate like people on my covers. Like this is okay because they're cartoon, but like I hate Magnolia Park's newest covers. Like I hate them. I think they're so ugly. I loved the self-published covers so much and I wish they kept them. Anywho, we went on a tangent about covers. I'm gonna go get to cleaning. I don't know if I'm gonna bring you guys along because I just kind of want to speed through this really fast. And I feel like cleaning's kind of boring, so I'm not gonna do that. So I will meet you guys back here when I'm done. Hi friends, it is a little bit later. It's almost noon. I did my cleaning, I took my shower, and actually I read another 50 pages. I was waiting for my hair to dry up in the towel before I talked to you guys. So I'm now 100 pages into Tangled Up in You, and I am really liking this book. Like I am pleasantly surprised how much I'm liking this book. I think this is new adult. I don't think this is YA because they are in their 20s. So I would assume it's new adult. But in this book, you're following Ren, who grew up very, very sheltered, as in no TV, no internet, no phone. She is not allowed to venture into town on her own. Like they go to visit the town once every couple months to get like supplies and all that. And she doesn't even call like her parents mom and dad. She calls them by their given name. So Steve and Gloria are her parents, and they live on this homestead. And she wants to go to school. She's 22 and she wants to go to school. And so she gets into the university and she goes. And in there, she's kind of like a Martian. She's experiencing everything for the first time, as if someone who lived up in space comes down to Earth and experiences it all. That's kind of what she's like. And she has the personality of like a teacher's pet, but without trying. Like she's not trying to be a teacher's pet. She's just that type of person because she has been raised without the influence of the internet telling her who she should be and what she shouldn't be doing and like what's cool and what's not cool. She's just kind of her own person, which I really dig. I kind of wonder like what the world would be like if we didn't have the internet and how everyone would act in our personalities and would we be different. Anyways, but she's read like every book under the sun. So she's very, very smart. And her first day, she gets to meet Fitz, who is the dean's favorite. He's the person that gives tours, but he is also one of the most good-looking guys on campus, and everyone knows Fitz. And her roommate was like, don't fall for him, don't let him get in your pants and all that. So he meets Ren and he's like taken aback by her because here's this girl who is like the most beautiful girl he's ever seen in his life. So they have a couple classes together, and then one night after this project they had to do, Ren goes into the professor's office to take a look at something because she's like kind of second guessing it, and she runs into Fitz and he is doing something he shouldn't be doing. So she blackmails him and they go on a road trip together because she needs to go kind of take care of this project and like something. I'm not trying to give it away because I don't want to give away like what she's doing because it doesn't say it on the back cover, but basically they go on a road trip together and he has like this list of rules for her. He's like, do not talk, don't do this, don't do that. It's cute. It's going good. Fitz is definitely grumpy. Like he's definitely grumpy, but I think it's an act for sure because you see little moments of him where he's just like in awe of Ren and what she's doing and like her brain because she's so smart, and he's also smart. He's one of the top students in the class, and so he's like just in awe of her. And then he kind of flips back to the grumpy like Fitz, like you're annoying kind of way. I mean, he's never said that. And Rin is kind of struggling with it because she's never had like anything romantic go on in her life. And so all these new feelings are coming up and she's kind of like, what is happening? I don't really understand. Like, I've read about it in romance books, but I can't really picture it in real life because it's never happened. And now this is happening and I'm really liking this. I think I'll definitely finish this today because I'm already 100 pages in and I feel like I could fly through this book because it's very easy to read. There is that. I'm gonna go blow dry my hair and then we're gonna go back to reading because I want to finish this book for you guys today. Meus passos vão mostrando o prazer de observar as flores no caminho. I'm taking a lunch break because I need to. It's about to be 1 o'clock in the afternoon and I am, I think, almost halfway through this book, maybe just before halfway, but I'm on page 137 and I am liking it. There was one scene that I cringed just a little bit, but I think it goes along with Ren and how she is. She's just very naive, is a great way to describe her. She's naive. She is kind of like honestly, like I said, like a Martian. She's a Martian from a different planet. And as the days goes on, I think Fitz becomes more and more in all of her and the way she grew up and like how she is as a person and just like the way she carries herself too. And he's finding out these little things about her that he had no idea about. And I love it so much. So I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna watch Meg Hugh's newest video. She is my favorite content creator on YouTube. I love the way she films and edits. I just love like her whole vibe when it comes to her content. If you don't know who Meg Hughes is, definitely check her out. She's a great content creator. One of my favorites. So I'm gonna watch her newest video, have my lunch, and then get back to reading. I have now officially finished Tangled Up in You by Christina Lauren. I am conflicted when it comes to this one because I did have a good time. I was having a good time and I was letting myself have a good time because usually with romance books, I don't necessarily have the best of time always. It's very much a hit or a miss for me when it comes to romance books, but for this one, I was enjoying myself. Until the last like 80 pages where this plot twist happened that I think was just out of pocket, especially that far into the book and that close to the ending. And if it was a thriller, it would have made more sense, but this being a romance book, I'm just like, what? That was so just like, and I get it because this is after Tangled and I should have put that together, but I didn't think it was going to be like that. I would have preferred that plot twist to be like halfway through the book rather than where it was. I think it would have flowed so much better other than here's this huge thing that happened and now we have this many pages to wrap it all up and be okay with it and come to like the conclusion of it. Also, there were some cringy moments in this book, but I think it's supposed to because Ren is very much a naive person, doesn't know a lot about the world. So, you know, I understand it. I did really like how these two characters were so unaware of how they needed each other in their lives until that moment when they were like, I really need this person. So yeah, I mean, it was a fun time, but it wasn't my favorite and I'm gonna give it a 2.5 because of that plot twist, out-of-pocket plot twist, but it's an easy book to read. So with that being said, I did mention how I think I'm going to continue this vlog on a different day. It's currently 4 o'clock on a Sunday and I kind of just want to sit and chill for the rest of the Sunday. I'm having a little bit of a Sunday scary moment because I haven't been to work since Thursday, like June 20th. It's been a really long time since I've been to work because I've been on my staycation and I go back tomorrow. So I'm just having a little bit of anxiety about it and I just don't really necessarily want to read and film the rest of the day. So I think I'm going to pick this vlog up Wednesday evening or Thursday morning, and either I'll do Wednesday evening to Thursday evening or Thursday morning to Friday morning. I'll do either of those things, but there will be another addition to this vlog. So I will see you guys then. For me, it'll be days, but for you, it'll be a couple seconds. So hello friends, it is now Wednesday evening and I'm adding on to this vlog like I promised, and we're gonna do another 24 hours of reading. Let me set you guys down and introduce you to the books I'm thinking of. I had to change into a crew neck because it's actually so cold in my house for no reason. I turned off the AC because it is freezing. So I have a very exciting book that I'm so excited to read. And no, it's not Reckless by Lauren Roberts. I'm saving that for vacation. I think I'm gonna binge Powerless, Powerful, and Reckless all in one go when I'm on vacation. Anyways, that's not the point of this video. So Daisy Hates came through my library, like I mentioned earlier in this video, and I'm gonna read it. I'm so excited. So if I finish Daisy Hates before the 24-hour is up, I think I'm gonna go into the last love note. This has been calling my name. So yeah, I'm not gonna rush Daisy Hates though, because I really wanna savor my time with it, because I don't know when I'll be back in that world again, because I am reading them via library until, you know, I'm off my budget, because I'm on a very strict budget right now. When I get off this budget, I will go ahead and buy the pretty UK covers from Blackwell's. So that's the plan. Right now, I'm gonna go have some dinner because it is almost 5:45 and I haven't ate yet. So I'm gonna go have some dinner, chill out, and then we will start this readathon. I'm guessing around like 7 or 8. So I'll see you guys then. It is 7:03. I have just gotten my ice cream and I have my water here, and we're gonna start Daisy Hates, and I'm really excited. Morning, friends. It is now the next morning. It's around 9:30. It's on July 4th, so happy July 4th if you celebrate. I'm on my most Americanized t-shirt that I can get, a Budweiser. I'm not doing anything today. My butt is sitting here and we're going to read all day. But let me update you on my reading updates. So last night I read quite a bit. I read 150 pages of Daisy Hates, and I'm really liking this book. I wasn't sure how I was gonna like this book, especially because I was so attached to Magnolia and BJ's story and those characters that I've already met, but I really like Daisy's story a lot. Daisy, I feel like, has more layers to her and depth to her than Magnolia. I think Magnolia, in my eyes, is very much Serena coded. She's just like a socialite, and that's kind of all she is. Daisy's story, especially with her family and how she grew up and hardships she's already been in. We're gonna ignore the fact that she's extremely wealthy, but she's had some traumatizing things go on in her life already, despite only being 20. I don't know, I find her story so much more interesting. So if you don't know, in this book you're following Daisy Hates, who is part of a very notorious crime-centered family. They're like kind of like the mafia in a way, like crime lords. She was raised by her older brother named Julian because both of their parents died when she was 8 and he was 18. So I don't know, maybe she was 9 and 19. I think she was 9 and he was 19 because they're 10 years apart, and she's 19 now. Yeah, so she's been raised by her brother. Her upbringing is non-traditional, obviously, because she's part of this crime family who very wealthy, and she's just like used to having bodyguards and seeing like a bunch of stuff go on. She's kind of taken on the mom role in a way. She kind of takes care of everyone and makes sure everything's all right. She also has 2 separate like romantic things kind of going on. She has this guy named Romeo who they grew up together since they were like 6. They've known each other since they were 6. They dated for 6 years, and then something happened and they don't really work together. It's one of those things like when it's good, when it's bad, it's like awful. But they can't stay away from each other. They're each other's like the one person they will always love no matter what. Like they will always hold a special place in their heart for this person no matter like what they've done. And I think we all probably have that person in our life. So with that, I can relate. Like I have a person that like no matter what has gone on, what has happened, the years have passed, like he will always have like a special place in my heart. So I understand and I feel for her in that way. But she's kind of battling with like loving him but like knowing like they don't work. but she also has this new person in her life named Christian, and Christian is part of Magnolia and BJ's gang. So Daisy is not really part of their gang. They know each other, of course, in passing. I mean, how could you not? But she's not part of their game. Christian is, and Christian is BJ's best friend. And if you've read Magnolia Parts, you know Christian. I'm not gonna say it because I don't want to spoil anything if you haven't even entered this world. Christian is in love with a certain someone, and he's trying to get over her, so he's using Daisy in a way, but he is kind of struggling with that because he finds himself thinking more and more of Daisy and like these moments with her, and just like while he's doing mundane things like brushing his teeth, like going for a walk, stuff like that, he just thinks of her. And so that's confusing Christian. And Daisy is in love with Christian but knows he's in love with someone else, and she is very much like accepting that and just kind of going with it because she loves him. And it's just heartbreaking because if you've ever been in that situation, it's the worst. It's the worst situation. So I'm gonna read something that I highlighted last night. But what he doesn't know is that how he looks in the morning time is burned into my memory. And one day when all this is over and we're not hooking up anymore and he's with someone else and I figured out how to move on and past him and we're not together anymore, because I don't think he has room in his heart to see me like that when all he can see is her. Even if sometimes now it feels like maybe he could, even then I will see his face when I close my eyes. Like, are you kidding me? Needless to say, I am loving this book and I'm really glad I picked this book up, but I think this book is going to put me in a slump and not want me to pick up any other books except for anything in this universe. But I'm trying to savor the Magnolia Parks universe. I've put the rest of them on hold, and they're on hold for 5 to 6 weeks, which works because I should be getting them all right around the time I leave for vacation, hopefully. Maybe they'll come earlier. But that is it. I am going to enjoy the rest of my coffee and read some more. We do have a little bit of cleaning to do today, so I have the audiobook on Spotify, but I'm gonna try to read as much as I can physically and then switch to the audiobook and do some cleaning and take you guys along with me for that. But I'm gonna go enjoy my coffee, read a little, and just savor the morning of this really quiet bonus day off. All right, it is now time to get off this couch because it's been an embarrassing amount of time since I've moved from this couch. It's now almost 11:30. So I'm gonna put in my headphones and we are going to listen to Daisy Hates on Spotify. According to Spotify, I have 7 hours left. According to Kindle, I have 4 hours left. So I'm gonna go with my Kindle time. Quite a bit later. It's 3 p.m. so there's 4 hours left of this readathon, and I have just under 4 hours left of Daisy Hates. I listened to about an hour of it, and according to Kindle I have 3 hours and 51 minutes left, so we'll see. I cleaned the house, I walked for an hour, caught up on my shows I needed to catch up on, and then I had lunch and I've just been kind of chilling out. I have the hiccups now. So I brought out my pillow from my bed, gonna get comfy and read this book and hopefully not fall asleep. Guys, something big just happened and I'm a little stressed about how it's going to all come together. According to Kindle, I have 2 hours and 26 minutes left, but I'm on page 380 and there's like 479 pages left. So I have 99 pages left. I don't think that's gonna take me 2 hours to read it. That's a little excessive, but you never know. I am actually gonna take a break, watch a booktube video because that always gives me motivation to read. I'm losing a little bit of my motivation to read, so I think I'm gonna watch a booktube video. It is 6:35, and since I didn't really start reading till 10 o'clock, I'm just gonna finish this video out when I finish Daisy Hates, which will be today, so the video will end today. But so I just want to give you guys this little update. I literally have 9 chapters left of Daisy Hates, and I think it's time to pull out the ice cream. I saved a couple spoonfuls left of my ice cream, the last bit of the serving I have left, which is perfect. So I'm gonna eat this, finish Daisy Hates, and then come back and we'll recap this video of all the books I've read and my thoughts and my feelings and stuff like that. So I will see you very soon. Daisy is really frustrating me right now. She's acting like a little bit of a child over this whole situation that's happened with her and Christian. I mean, I understand like getting that confirmation was like heartbreaking, but she's not even like comprehending the things he's telling her and like the reassurance he's giving her, and it's just I just want to be like By the way, the ice cream flavor of choice is black raspberry dark chocolate chip. I need a moment. I'm here to do a recap of all the books I read within 48 hours. And first book we're starting with is A Summer Romance by Annabelle Monaghan. And this, I think I rated it like a 3-star. And this was like a cute summer romance that was really fast paced, really easy to read and digest. And yeah, it would kind of put me in the mood to read more summer books. And the next one was Christina Lauren's. This was their newest release, and that is Tangled Up in You. And I know this is part of the Meant to Be series. I think these are, now that I have found out, are like Disney retellings, and it makes so much more sense now, this whole entire book. This one was a 2.5. I really enjoyed myself up until the last like 80 pages of this book and the twist that happened, but it makes sense because of the Tangled movie. But I kind of just wish it was better paced. Like I wish they would have put that in the middle of the book. For a romance book, I feel like it was just too late in the book for that. So that's why this got such a low rating. And then my favorite book of the readathon was Daisy Hates, and this is the second book in the Magnolia Park series. And I haven't officially talked about my review yet, so here it is. I'm gonna give this a 4.5. It wasn't a 5-star because I wasn't like obsessed with it like I was Magnolia Parks. Magnolia Parks, there's something in that book that had me obsessed. I could not put it down, and I kind of had the same feeling, but like I was getting a little slumpy, a little over this book. And I think because this book deals with more of, and I'm not sure why, but the way this book ended, I was like, okay, now I need to find out what happens. Like, where are we going with this? I don't know who to root for. Like, I want Christian, but there's also Rome, who is like her first love, but I feel like they just don't work. And I feel like what Daisy put him through to the end of this book was really messed up, especially because she knows how he feels about her. Like, he's been so open and honest about it, but she just can't get there because she's in love with someone else, and he like has her heart, and she's like very much hurt by the situation that went on with him and another character from a previous book, and she's dealing with that, and then the ending and like what happened, and then like how it ended, and then I can't say anything without giving anything away, but wow. I really feel like in this book you see Daisy go through it. You see her like be kind of like on top of this world, like the crime lord, like princess, and then she kind of gets into like a little bit of trouble, and then she goes down, and then she's picking herself back up is where it ends in the book. She's like slowly picking herself back up, and she recognizes what she needs to do to be happy. And even though it's like the hardest thing in the world and she doesn't want to do it, she's like, I need to do this for myself, and you need to let me, kind of thing. So yeah, I really liked it. I think this was a very successful readathon. It was the first readathon I've done in a really, really long time. This was very much a non-conventional readathon. I really wanted it to kind of just be like a solid like 24 hours, but obviously I didn't get enough footage, or I felt like I didn't. Although editing the vlog back, I totally had enough footage just to do 24 hours, and I was just overthinking it. But you know what? It's fine. We added on another day, so I hope you guys liked that and enjoyed that. I think next time I do this, I'm just gonna do the timer method of just 24 hours. I think this may be like a monthly thing, so I can like get through some of my TBR books. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this vlog. Make sure you guys are subscribing because I'd love to have you here. Make sure you're being kind to yourself and others around you, and I will see you guys very, very soon. Goodbye!